I accepted it, and I said, but I want to do a movie. And I said, this is the movie I want to do, the Paddy thing. So I did, you know, Bloody Kids. I did a TV serial for him. I did, you know, various other things.
So that was part of the package. So, you know,
yes.
I agreed to come, but this is I'm making this film. Yeah.
Yes. So far so fairly good, but the problem was I didn't have any problem with making it. You know, because in those days, in fact, the sourced funding was from ACC, it used to be called, which is ATV and everything else. Sure. You know, did Dangerman and ITC and all that. Yeah. And fine until they saw it, because they weren't big on reading scripts. You know.
I think they might have got a clue if they'd have read some of the words.
Maybe.
Because it was not. It was a no holds barred outing, wasn't it? I mean, this is the thing about Barry, isn't it? I guess. I mean, this is, I guess, what you enjoy working with about you. You get it real, aren't you?
Also, it was inclusive. In fact, you know, I had three people with me that, in fact, I trusted implicitly, which is Bob Hoskins,
yes,
and Barry, the writer, John Mackenzie,
right.
And you know, the meetings were kind of visceral. You know, they were kind of like threatening. I mean,
is that a rare treat in your trade?
Well,
to
yes.
kind of have the moment, like almost like the perfect storm of actor, writer, director. Is that?
Listen, this today you've got to go through serrated ranks of committees before you get to the fucker who in actual fact can say yes or no, who knows nothing anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So in fact, yes, it was a pocket like that.
Great.
The other pocket that, in fact, I had in my career was with David Rose in, you know, the beginning of Pebble Mill.
Right.
You know, being a long way from London was a good idea. You know,
that helps again. But to place yourself in that environment, first of all, as you say, you've got the IRA as a character within the story.
Yeah, yeah.
You're putting yourself in the middle of Docklands at a time when it's ragged and not happening at all. There's a lot of challenges.
Well, Mark, people have said to me, that was a very good idea you were doing that film, thinking that in fact I'd made a fortune from the kind of property racket that went on.
I like to think you bought it as you went along.
Yeah. That's what I made nothing.
What happened? No? Oh well.
I didn't even make anything from the property racket. I didn't make anything from the film. I mean, I made a bit from when it actually had to be sold on.
Sure.
But no, I mean, it was.
The experience.
I mean, the IRA, in fact, remember in the film, it's not a film about the IRA.
No,
it's a film about England, really.
That's exactly right. But of course, but to have them so overtly in the story like that, and just a crazy mixture. I mean, it just. I'll tell you what's strange about it. Of course, I can't work out 30 years ago how weird that would have been to have a conversation or to have a film that is built around a Cockney gangster dealing with Americans with the IRA on his back, trying to sell the Olympics into the East End. Even though we know it's happened, it sounds weird. Exactly, that's right, exactly. But just basically Docklands, of course, right. Was that a wild idea at the time, or was it mooted? It had been stories?
Well, no. I mean, the originality about the idea and the energy generated was it was a gangster film with gangsters against terrorists.
Yes.
So in which case, in fact, although when they saw it, they hated it and said we have to have every reference to the IRA cut out.
Oh, easily done.
I said, well, they don't say anything. You know?
That's exactly right. Dub them in Welsh. No, it wasn't going to work, was it?
No, that wasn't going to work. No. But they hated it. They also had a thing, and it was a film I saw called Hennessy, and I think that was in '75. I'm not entirely sure about that. With Rod Steiger, that was did involve the IRA and the bombings and things like that. And it also had a kind of in those days, whatever the CGI was of the Queen.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And it didn't play well. You know,
no.
People were frightened that their cinemas would be bombed.
Of course.
That's mid-70s. Now, there was some of that, and also they hated the thing because, in actual fact, there were no stars in it.
Well, that's the thing I was going to ask you. I mean, you look around now, at the bar, or people are going to show up tonight at the screening. How faces that everybody knows, but of course, to a great extent, that was the pot from which they've all emerged, isn't it? I mean, the talent that you put together.
Well, it's the talent that I knew because, in fact, I was living with it.